On today's show, 'Tis the Season. We highlight some of our favorite holiday tales. If you're looking for the tree trimmings that are easy to find, look no further. We guarantee no two are alike.
I was a camp counselor.
We meet a couple that gets rather fired up about s'mores. And a look into the world of traditional Minnesota-made outdoor companies protected by this man.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hi everybody, Bill, Millie and I welcome you to a holiday-themed episode.
Yeah, we are getting ready to celebrate the holidays Minnesota Bound style.
That's right, my dad Ron Shera found the perfect holiday tree inspired by Mother Nature herself.
Once upon a time at the general store in Minnetonka, Minnesota. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. We found a Christmas tree adorned with snow. Well, snowflakes, actually. We tend to forget, I think, snow is just a bunch of snowflakes. An amazing collection, really, because snowflakes are special. They say no two snowflakes are alike. Not sure how they know, but it's true, I think. Just like us. No two of us are alike, and that's a blessing. Even identical twins will have tiny differences, yet snowflakes have much in common. Every flake has 6 arms. We too share the same hopes and dreams in this holiday season. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Peace on earth when snowflakes come down to you and yours from Minnesota Bound.
Today we're getting wild and crafty in the kitchen with a simple DIY project the whole family can enjoy. We're gonna make some winter bird feeders with 4 simple ingredients: pine cones, twine, peanut butter, and birdseed. Let's get started. First step is to grab some festive twine and roll it out about, I would say, 1.5 feet. So I like to tie the twine just about 1 inch below the top of the pine cone, so it's a nice solid part of the pine cone. And then I double knot it on the bottom, and I also double knot it on top to make sure it's extra secure. All right, the next step is to take some peanut butter and start frosting your pine cone. Now, this is the part that might be a little time consuming, but it's a great way to get your kids involved, have them help out, and also you could do a little education on what types of winter birds will show up to your bird feeders. So as you can see, our pine cone is full of delicious peanut butter, and now the next and last step is to roll it in the birdseed. The birdseed that I chose was one without peanuts or sunflowers or any big chunky pieces in it, so it sticks to the peanut butter and the pine cone really easily. I think if you had any bigger pieces, you would find that it wouldn't stick so well. This type of birdseed you can expect to attract cardinals, some goldfinches, maybe a chickadee or 2 will find these pine cone bird feeders extra delicious. Our pine cone bird feeders are all set for the tree. Now, if you're concerned about squirrels getting to these, you may want to tie them really tight to the tree or tie them underneath your squirrel-proof bird feeding area. Also, these make a wonderful holiday gift for any bird lover in your life.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Strike Master, Ice Castle Fish House and RV, and by the Florida Keys and Key West.
It's time to meet Christine and Mike Nelson, longtime camp counselors who may have just perfected a campfire's sweetest offering.
It's the season for bonfires in Minnesota. And as everyone knows, the perfect bonfire makes the perfect s'more. Just ask Mike and Christine Nelson.
I was a camp counselor at Camp Kitchiapi, YMCA camp, for 9 years.
Same for me. So I was a camp counselor at Spirit in the Pines.
They're the duo behind North Mallow, a Long Lake business they created in 2016. And while the love story may have began at a camp bonfire,
So I made hundreds of bonfires and thousands of s'mores.
it's transitioned to something, well, a bit sweeter.
I started making marshmallows just for fun, not with a business in mind or anything like that, and saw that we really could make a better marshmallow with better ingredients. So in 2014, I was invited to do s'mores at one event, and it was a hit.
The rest was s'more history.
It just popped in our heads, maybe we should sell marshmallows.
But all marshmallows are not created equal.
The amount of hands-on that goes into our marshmallow making is definitely craft. It's gourmet. It's bringing that better experience.
We just let it cook. We go stir it every so often as it starts to heat up so that the sugar gets mixed in with the agave.
This is just pouring the powdered sugar in here. Next, I'm gonna measure out salt. And next, we're doing the vanilla powder. And then last, we have vanilla bean seeds.
Now this is the best part. This is when all of the liquid sweet turns into gooey marshmallow. So Jennifer's smoothing out and trying to get air bubbles out. We try to move as quickly as we can. As it starts to cool down, it starts to set.
The marshmallows set for 24 hours before heading to the slicer.
So one of our batches of marshmallows makes about 1,000 marshmallows. In a day, we make 9, 10, or 11 batches. So we make up to about 10,000 marshmallows in a day.
The end result? The perfect s'more. At its core, North Mallow is more than a marshmallow company.
Just becoming more a part of this outdoor community has been just such a wonderful thing.
They've partnered with groups, including Save the BWCA and Adventure Women, and have even started their own scholarship fund to send kids to, guess what? Summer camp, of course.
To build our business, we need the outdoors to be safe. It's also just simply the right thing to do.
For us, it's really about that joy. And we're not marshmallow makers. We consider ourselves more joy makers. It's really that kind of joy in that moment, and we consider ourselves privileged to be able to bring not just a product, but an experience that helps create lasting memories.
So, introduce a kid to the great outdoors, and yes, to s'mores too.
Still ahead, the warmth of a fire perfectly produced by one log. What started as a woodshop project led to a big life change. Also, Jackson Heron works to protect Minnesota's small outdoor companies.
Closed captioning provided by Star Bank.
Up next, we meet a Minnesota man whose family dreams of protecting Minnesota's outdoor legacies. To understand is to drive north. War Road winters up on the Canadian border look and feel like this. Minnesota's icebox burb, where everything snowy and cold just seems to make sense.
No, I think War Road up on the border, a town kind of known for cold weather. I think it goes right along with being in the north.
Jackson Heron's story hides out here on the edge of town.
This is the shop, the wood shop. It's a building my father built back in the early 90s when we started getting into toboggans and sleds and steam bending wood.
Jackson grew up watching and working in this workshop, the home of Northern Toboggan.
The people that are buying our toboggans need a sled. It's not like a hobby thing.
His dad's company dedicated to the craft of building sturdy gear sleds.
First of all, they're handmade in Minnesota. They're for the cold and for the extreme cold. That's the best season of the year, in our opinion.
Jackson sort of bought into his dad's dream, to the point he and his brother chose to protect the past. The Herons bought the toboggan company from Dad and, in the process, started building something much, much bigger.
Sometimes I wonder what we're getting into. It's so intriguing to us to learn from these folks that have put so many years into creating lifestyle products and traditional products.
Products made in Minnesota, like these snowshoes.
The name of the company is Country Ways, and it was started by a couple of guys on the Boundary Waters 40 years ago.
Greg Wilcox happens to be one of those guys.
After how many thousands of bindings, it's pretty straightforward.
He ran Country Ways snowshoes for decades.
It's nice to be able to pass the torch and see it continue.
Jackson saw merit in Greg's Minnesota-made traditional snowshoes. So he acquired the business to go along with the toboggans.
I think they're going to grow the business, all their businesses for that matter. It's just going to be great, especially as people decide they need to get outside.
Snowshoe demand keeps Country Ways workers buzzing. A business of cut, steam, bend, and lace.
I could probably do them with my eyes closed. I used to crochet like that.
Really?
Yeah, I'd get bored with it, so
You know, in today's world of making something quick and cheaply and throwing it away, right? And this is the opposite of that.
Which is why
it's a northern Minnesota thing.
Ely's wintergreen northern wear enters the Heron story too.
The very first anorak I made was for Paul on the Steger International North Pole Expedition in 1986.
Sue Shirky created wintergreen after her husband Paul traveled to the North Pole. Another niche Minnesota company with a very passionate following.
People actually save up their money to buy a wintergreen jacket.
This company, you guessed it, the Herons bought into as well.
With Greg, with Country Ways, and with Wintergreen and the Shirkies as well, it just kind of became, you know, opportunities for us to carry the torch and kind of see what's next. And I think I've just gotten to the point in my career and in my life that I just see a lot of value in that.
Which takes us full circle back to the toboggan shop, where on a Tuesday,
I turned 70 at the end of the month.
The guy who started all of this still gets into the shop.
It's a little hard on the feet though, the older I get. I don't know that I'd have that much energy to do as much as they're doing right now, but.
Protecting Minnesota's outdoor legacy, one shoe, one sled, and one anorak at a time.
Well, that's pretty admirable.
I want to continue on in that world and help prop it up and get other people exposed to, you know, something that's real and something that they can hang on to and really rely on.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Heat Hog, Radco Truck Accessories, And by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Up next, the tale behind a wood chippy holiday favorite of ours at Minnesota Bound.
It's the smallest of campfires crafted right here in Minnesota.
One little log, such a simple subject of our campsite attention. Who knew one log could create so much fun?
It's a Schwedenfackel. So Schwedenfackel is a German name for Swedish torch.
Bill Beast discovered them while living in Europe.
So I started to research, what is a Swedish fire? It turns out that a Swedish fire dates back to the 1600s. It was a concept of burning wood from the inside out that war soldiers used during the 30 Years' War.
Bill had a Minnesota brainstorm. His version of a Schwaden, well, you know what. In Minnesota nice, that translates to a one-log fire. Built right here, by hand, in a Minneapolis suburb. The process starts with properly prepped logs.
Okay, here we go. Now we'll fire up the saw. It's red pine from northern Minnesota. The logs are kiln dried
and then shipped to Bill's workshop.
It burns really well and slow. This is our original size log, and this is a 2-hour burning fire. And out of this 4-foot section, we would get 6 pieces. The next step, we take the logs and we sand them. We clean the edge up, get rid of any imperfections, get rid of any burrs, and make a nice round edge.
Lois Beast helps Bill build kits.
Oh, geez. I don't know, Bill started in like 2009, so we've just kind of always been a little bit here and there, and now it's been more, so, and that's exciting, because I like doing it.
Even though this sort of work can literally put you to sleep.
It supposedly makes so sleepy, some people.
We think that the pitch is making us drowsy. We refer to it as the pine eye. So after working in here for 6 hours, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready for a nap.
Okay, so with the log cut and sanded, Bill now puts science to each piece.
So what we do is drill 2 holes in the log, one horizontally and one down vertically. Inside the log, it creates an L-shaped chamber. What it's doing is drawing oxygen in and then exhausting out, kind of like a wood stove or a chimney effect. It's always drawing oxygen in the bottom hole. So after drilling, our next step is to start assembling the log.
But not before they deal with all the shop mice.
This is one of our processes to make our fire starters. It's a makeup of paraffin wax and sawdust. You get a bucket full, and then our next process is to take them up. It kind of reminds me of a little mouse.
Now Lois and quick hands take over.
You're gonna staple on your rope handle, flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. Hopefully it's directly across. Pick up your fire starter and you wanna put it in the hole and place the label over the fire starter to hold it in and make sure it's even. Voila!
And even at the end of the day, when these two earn their break,
nothing like a clean shop, right?
They won't take it.
We work hard at cleaning up our messes. Clean it up again and make it look nice.
While the rest of us enjoy the warmth of their labor.
Oh, that's exciting. That other people are getting to see what they actually look like. It's kind of like grab and go because it's got a cute little handle. You're ready to go have a fire anywhere, anytime.
Fire really brings people together.
Awesome little logs, and side note, the leftover wood chips are pretty good for starting fires in my wood, so just saying.
Speaking from experience, yes. Well, that about does it for us. We certainly hope you have a wonderful holiday season.
And all season long, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433.